Right, I am the user currently known as Sanchagran on Mibba, and if you're watching this, you've probably been directed here from a journal on Mibba, and I just thought I'd explain all the references in Roll Call Yellowbird because I managed to get about 14 in the space of 240 words in this word spill, and basically I wrote it after hearing about word spills on a thread on Mibba where you just basically turn the font to white and write for 10 minutes or Roll Call Yellowbird didn't take 10 minutes, it just came to a sort of natural end. In fact, I completely cheated because I went into town alone before writing it and basically had it all composed in my head. So, if you haven't read it and just started watching this video for the sake of it, then this might not make all that much sense, but here goes. Right, James Dean's polka dot ashtray chest. Well, I heard somewhere, I think it was a placebo interview or something, that James Dean used to hire prostitutes, and he used to, I can't actually remember whether it was he used to get off on being burnt by cigarette butts or whether he used to burn them, but I think it was towards him, so that's the polka dot ashtray chest. That's a fairly straightforward thing. Begat a bunch of flowers hung from a hand tied to a bedpost. Nature is language. It's Morrissey, obviously, because Morrissey was obsessed with James Dean. And that's what I kind of started with, that sum of all the obsessions of all the people was it's just something that I think about a lot, how you can be formed so much by the things you're obsessed with. So Begat, a fat kid in New Jersey who stops on his way home from school to Gerard Way, who I am obsessed with, and how that chain, you sort of follow it back. Yes, Space Boy, the Clone is Clone You. Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream, it was in an interview with Gerard Way or something, where he said that when he got that album, I think it was the first time he listened to it, he just basically, on the way home from school or something, portable CD player, because it was the 90s, and just lay in the centre of like a sports field and listen to that album, which I think is probably the best possible thing to do with that album, just kind of staring at the sky. It has that feel to it. So yeah, that's the next bit is I don't know exactly how much to say, because I actually referenced someone who later came along and read Roll Call Yellowbird and likes it a lot. Now, the thing with Drusilla, Mibba user, is I read her stories. I don't comment. I'm a lurker. I'd probably better start commenting now, seeing as how she's commented me. As a person, I'm a bit of a stalker. I find her as a person quite interesting. Just I can't quite explain it. Her obsession with Alice in Wonderland, with a certain rock star who, that's what it is. Reaching for the moon. She refers to him as the moon. I think she's only like a matter of months age difference from him. To me, in my own mind, they're sort of locked together in their own way, because I don't know. She's in love with this guy, but there's something very pure about that hope. So that's what it's reaching for the moon. Alice fell down the rabbit hole, found herself a new person. Cameron, Teddy in a blue dress, eyes like hurricanes reaching for the moon. Eyes like hurricanes. Friend Kristen wrote her a poem, Yes, Your Eyes Are Still the Hurricanes, and it's like I live in the centre. being the last two lines. So I stole that from there. So I don't know if it creeped her out at all when she found out that she'd appeared in this thing. Lady Lazarus knew the faces of her doctors. Sylvia Plath. Poem Lady Lazarus. But another man drew the patients and wouldn't look the nurse in the face because she wasn't bare enough. That is only something that I've read from an introduction of a book, and it was either, I think it might have been One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. There's an introduction, the day that I bought the book of The Great Gatsby, it was between The Great Gatsby and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, assuming it was that book, because I think there's another one that it could have been, but it's about mental hospitals. And it was about him drawing, basically just what I put. I think it was the writer of the book drawing patients' faces, and this one particular nurse who he wouldn't look in the face because she wasn't like the patients, because she was sane and also wearing makeup. Gatsby was a real great guy. Holden Caulfield, Catcher in the Rye. Gatsby was a real great guy. Trimalchio lies at the bottom. Yeah. I'm not that smart. I only know about the whole Gatsby Trimalchio connections because I read half of the introduction to The Great Gatsby and then got bored and just wanted to read the goddamn story. So I just got where they were talking about the metaphors between the green ball, Trimalchio, something about that, like something to do with if he dropped it or something. Green ball, green light. You can wish only on the star you can't reach. That is also in the introduction, and it does for a lot to the characters in The Great Gatsby, and it's something that's quite close to my heart, and also maybe refers to other things in this thing. Once you've got that reality that you've been hoping for, you know, saying that once that thing, you know, that green light that Gatsby was, you know, staring at across the bay, once you have that thing that you've been reaching for, well, about things don't quite work out that way, however hackneyed it maybe to say you can wish only on the star you can't reach. Things are only magic when you're wishing for them. The second bit, the only reference in it is there's a Bright Eyes reference and there's a Simon Joyner reference. Yellowbird. While I wrote this, I was obsessing over yellow birds. I don't know why. The idea of that song and the lyrics to it. I wrote another thing, the aviary, which doesn't really make all that much sense, and it hasn't, readers wise or comments wise, gotten down all that well on me, because it just it's a little free write but drabble, you know, trying to pass itself off as an actual story about an aviary full of yellow birds, but I do not know who it was that shot its wings through with arrows. Something in that song, and here's an admission, I've only read the lyrics, but I've read the lyrics and adored them, but I've never heard that song. It's really difficult to get hold of. There's something about the yellow bird that comes in this window. She dies because she tells him it was because he shot her wings through with arrows every time that he wished to die, or something like that, and he's like, no, say it isn't so, kind of thing. I left it out in the field to return. Insert here some explanation about how the subtitle of the story in the last line is something to do with the Bright Eyes song, don't know when but day is gonna come, that somehow got lost because my camera's a fuck up. So yeah, just like apocalyptic, end of the world sort of things. Okay, the purpose of this video has been for me to do something else other than make a Mibber journal to explain any of the references in this, just for fun, for me to find out exactly how boring my voice is and how miserable I look when I'm talking to a camera. Yeah, the time is exactly 4 minutes past 4. I am sitting on my bedroom floor with a laptop in front of me, which is, apologies for the shaky camera work. I feel like shit and I should be revising for a biology exam. So yeah, it's me done.